weather with the KX News Storm Team.
You know, if you get rid of the muggy part of being outside, it's a beautiful night around Bismarck, but yeah, it is muggy. You might notice I have the QR code up here on the screen. I'm going to leave it on for this just one little weather segment. We're likely going to have 2 rounds of severe weather this weekend, and the storms could have golf ball size hail and wind up to 70 miles an hour. So if you do not have the KX Storm Team weather app, grab it during this weather, scan the code, and it'll download the app for you. And again, I'll leave it up here during this one segment. So we're looking at 70s to around 80 degrees. It's still warm. It's 9 o'clock at night. It's still pretty toasty, and there's a lot of moisture in the air. Dew points are very high. Upper 60s most locations to even some 70s. That is plenty of fuel should thunderstorms get here. They're in Montana now, but they are on the way is what it looks like. So the Storm Prediction Center issued a severe thunderstorm watch right at near the top of the hour that included the western counties of North Dakota, and then they extended all the way to the eastern counties in Montana, and that just came out. We also have a heat advisory. This is for tomorrow, and heat indexes, meaning what it's going to feel like with this heat and humidity, could be pushing 100 degrees. That's right, triple digits is what it may feel like. Now, some of these storms tonight might have an impact on the temperatures tomorrow because if they're just kind of slow going, keep the cloud cover in the morning, it might knock the temperature back a couple of degrees. But the Storm Prediction Center has the slight risk. That's 2 on a scale of 5. The area you see right here, that's 1 on a scale of 5. Still possible to have severe weather, just you wouldn't expect a lot of them. And then round 2, and this may even be late tomorrow, but another round of severe weather, same type of thing, large hail and a lot of wind. So I'm looking at the radar, and I know it's covering, but the storms are way back there. But the track is expected, the major track is supposed to be like this. All right, coming around a ridge. And so we're expecting this to get to the Montana border, North Dakota border, roughly midnight, 1 o'clock, might even be as late as 2. And then some other storms might push through this way, and that's why the watch is that far south. But that's what's expected to happen. The atmosphere is primed. There's a lot going on. This is midnight tonight. It's showing us still back a little ways in Montana, but watch what happens. It's already starting to dive like that arrow showed you. So here we are at 3 o'clock in the morning, showing a line of storms around the Williston area up towards Crosby, possibly into Watford City. And then it's by 5 o'clock in the morning, still diving to the southeast a little bit. Could be some severe weather here. I would suspect that time of day, probably not much of it, more like rain. But that still remains to be seen. This does not look like severe thunderstorms to me, what I would normally see from a computer model. But that's early tomorrow morning. And then during the day, that's all going to go off to the east. It's going to get hot. It's going to get humid. And then tomorrow night, we actually have a better chance of bad weather tomorrow night than we do tonight. So looking at low temperatures tonight, should be in the 60s, so still very warm, very muggy out there, and it's going to be hot tomorrow and humid. So as we take a look at the Bismarck 7-day outlook, it is going to be hot tomorrow. Temperatures will fall back a little bit, only to get hot again next week, so it's not like it's going to cool off forever. But again, tonight and tomorrow night, we have that chance of severe weather. And, you know, if you don't have the KX Storm Team app, now's a good time to do it. Have it on your phone so you'll have it handy. But we really could get some big storms. And then next week, I think a pattern change takes hold, and at least by midweek, maybe we're not talking about storms for a while.
Yeah, the KX Storm Team app is a very handy app to have, and make sure you download it. Tom, thanks very much. Next time.